You're on ABC Radio Canberra. Local filmmaker Richard Snashall's been nursing a long-burning passion for Japan. You might remember that we played some stories from a recent trip here on Mornings a year or two ago. And he's been back, but this time with a very familiar face in tow. None other than Gardening Australia's Costa Georgiadis. They've been to Okinawa. The pair of them investigated food and farming and folk culture of an island that's Japanese but also Pacific. It's a very interesting place. You'll hear some of that journey in a moment. Richard's here with me in the studio. Hello, Richard.
Good morning, Jen.
And on the line, Costa. Costa, good morning.
Good morning, Jen. How are you?
I'm very well.
Hey, Rich.
Konnichiwa, Costa-san.
Konnichiwa.
Sorry, Jen.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Well, yeah, we could all go on.
That's about it. I've emptied my tank there. 3 words.
Richard, where did you two meet in the first place?
Costa and I met working with the Australian National Botanic Gardens and Botanic Gardens Australia and New Zealand, doing some little film projects and, kind of hit it off.
And where did the idea for this Japan trip come from?
Well, I was going to Okinawa and then I just, the thought hit me. Everything about Okinawa, I thought Costa would be interested in the food, the sort of sustainable farming practices, the laid-back lifestyle, the beach, the surf, and sure enough, I hit the nail on the head. He loved it.
And so, Costa, what got you in? Because Okinawa was, mostly known for being an American base. I'm aware that it's a very distinctive, fascinating culture, but it's a bit alien to many people. Why did you want to go?
Yeah, well, like Rich said, I mean, we met doing a bit of plant hunting in the Macquarie Pass with the Wollongong Botanic Gardens, and then a little while later he sort of, and it was really nice because when someone thinks, oh, you'd like this, but then they follow through and say, actually, would you want to do it? And I was like, give me 1 second of think time. Actually, I'm in. And I just thought, wow, I didn't know anything about Okinawa. I probably knew a little bit about history from the Second World War, it being mentioned in there, but I didn't know anything at all. So the chance to go there just rang a bell, and Richard said, "Come on, let's do it," and away we went. So I since coming back from there, I realised what we did in that short week was something really special.
And Richard, where did you go? What did you do?
Well, we basically went to the main island of Okinawa because it's a cluster of islands. And wow, what did we do, Costa-san? I mean, we visited farms, we did pottery, we went surfing. Costa learnt to play an instrument, which you'll hear about very soon. What else? We absorbed a bit of that war history. But yeah, look, it was just mind blowing, and of course, the food is just amazing, absolutely amazing.
And Costa, tell me what you learned about the people of Okinawa. I've said a couple of times now that it's quite a strongly distinctive culture. That's true, actually, across Japan, where there's a strong dedication to people growing their own food. One of the reasons why the Japanese are so long lived is that they're really physically active, and a lot of them are still very much into growing their own vegetable-heavy diets in their own backyards. But tell me what you learned about Okinawa.
Yeah, I think the most resonating thing that I learnt was, as an island, they're fiercely proud. And yes, they're Japanese, but they're Okinawan. And you see it in their actual build and their skin tone. But that they have a history there. I mean, the fact that for 400 years there was a kingdom where the king turned around and said, there are no weapons. And as a result of that, there grew the art of karate. As a defensive thing, but not an offensive thing. So when you think about that across the psyche, that they are very peaceful, but fiercely protective of who they are and how they survived in a world where, at that time during the kingdom, you had the superpowers of China and Japan, yet they negotiated with all these seafaring traders and pirates and so on, and they had this peace and calm for so long. And so we actually met karate specialist, and we went to a big event where they were doing 100 kata, like a whole lot of karate specialists were doing 100 different moves across about 2 hours. And just to be there and experience that, it put a different perspective on the history of the place for me. And then it ties in with, being so peaceful, they were really proud of their island. They looked after their own food because there wasn't this grand inputs. They grew this food, and hence they have these longevity villages where the people live.
It is one of the global hotspots for longevity, Okinawa. It's one of the places, there's about 6 or 7 places in the world where people very regularly live to 100. And that's, absolutely largely attributed to the kind of diet. Speaking of which, if listeners could hear crackling, that's because Richard was tearing open. This is one of the things that happen when you go to Japan. Food is presented to you and you have not got the faintest idea what it is. What have I got in front of me?
Jen, I always love bringing you in a treat. And this was literally given to Costa and I by the farmer. This is organic sweet potato, purple sweet potato, which is one of the Okinawan longevity
it's one of the
foods.
Superfoods,
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's lightly dusted in a sugar,
It's kind of like sweet chips.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes
sweet
sense.
chips. Yeah. And the sugar farmer is just down the road from the sweet potato farmer, and that farmer and his wife literally packaged those up, and Costa and I were privileged to bring home a little bag each.
As with so much Japanese food, this is really very interesting and quite strange.
Do
Do you
like it?
I do like it, but I'm kind of getting my head around the fact that we're used to potato crisps, whether it's potatoes or sweet potatoes or whatever, but usually that's a savoury thing, and this is sweet. And it's fine, but it's just one of those things where you kind of go, this is very unusual. It's upsetting all my preconceptions. Oh, dear, it's fantastic. Now, we do have a bit of Costa. So what are we about to hear?
Well, Costa, we're about to hear this...
You may never... Your
may never hear again.
may never be the same again, so... All care, but no responsibility to your listeners for what they're about to have inflicted on them.
Okay, explain this to us, Richard.
Okay, Costa is going to take a lesson on a Sanshin, the traditional Okinawan folk instrument, with a maestro.
Oh, is he indeed?
Kiko. He is. But what is really alarming is that he will perform the same day with said instrument.
Costa, lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed.
No worries, Genevieve, and thanks, Rich. I'll leave it with you to calm the audience.
Sayonara.
Sayonara, Costa. Bye-bye.
We've just arrived in central Okinawa into one of these classic sort of closed-in streets that are ideal in this tropical area where they get a lot of rain. And I'm on my way to learn about the Sanshin, the traditional Okinawan folk instrument, and you can hear it sounds like someone's tuning one up. This is Kiko, my teacher, and Kiko's going to teach me. And listen to that. Listen to the timbre. Listen to the sound. G'day. Kiko's been worded up.
Welcome to my lesson. I think you're going to sing and play Sanshin today.
Sing and play.
Yes.
I thought I was just learning a few basic chops.
This is for you today.
My own axe.
It is called Sanshin.
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 Okay.
That means 3 strings. Sanshin. Okay. This is originally from China, many hundred years ago. Developed uniquely in Okinawa.
Is it all made out of wood?
Yes, the neck is solid wood. And my Sanshin, this one, ebony used.
Ebony, wow.
Yes. Here, this is a skin of snake.
Snake skin, wow.
Yes. This is synthetic.
Synthetic, yeah. So I've got just the student model here. They don't trust me with the proper snake skin.
So it is very small instrument, but it can play louder. Loud.
It actually sounds like it's being amplified.
Mm-hmm. You try this time.
Here we go. No time like the present.
Go like this. Good. And please pick around here. Okinawa Prefecture, nowadays we know, was formerly Ryukyu Kingdom. Ryukyu Kingdom is very small islands, so in history, they Ryukyu Kingdom sometime was under China. Do fa do, do fa do. And sometime Ryukyu Kingdom was under Japan. So Ryukyu people has very domestic language, but we don't use that language anymore. But old people, many old people speak Okinawan Ryukyu language. And in Okinawan folk music, I call minyo, Okinawa minyo. It is called Okinawa minyo. Is sung by Ryukyu language.
Is there any cultural effort to keep the language alive?
I think there is some. There's some elementary school have those Ryukyu language class, but I never learn in that way. I just learn from Okinawan folk music. For first string, do re mi.
Oh, so where'd you put the first finger?
For index finger,
Yep.
is around here.
Around there, so across the three.
Yeah, and
If I come for a lesson once a week, how long?
to play which song?
Till I can start to play some songs.
For Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I think you can learn it 1 month,
1 month.
4 lessons.
And then how long until I'm up on stage playing dueling Sanshins with you, you know?
I think you can debut. You can have debut tonight.
Oh! There it is, it's official. My first class and I'm going to become I'm going on stage live tonight. I'll sing Matilda, you come along, sing Matilda with me. And he sang as he watched and waited till his really done. Come along, sing Matilda with me. Mr. Johnny swang him and a pineapple upon under the shade of the boulevard trees. And he sang as he watched and waited till his really done. Come along, sing Matilda with me. Sing Matilda, sing Matilda. You come along, sing Matilda with me. And he sang as he watched and waited till his really done. Come along, sing Matilda with me.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, mate.
じゃあね、ステージね、通常これぐらいの